Ernie Brown, News Talk 820 WBAP. I am fascinated every morning when I get up and I pass by the gas station not too far from Stately Brown Manor to see the prices have gone up overnight again. I'm trying to figure out why. Jay Young is an oil and gas expert. I'm hoping he could kind of help us with that. Jay, welcome to WBAP.
Thank you. Appreciate you having me on again. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well. Why are prices hitting records again, seemingly overnight, every night?
Yeah, well, this is just a basic aftermath of what went on during the pandemic. When prices went to zero or negative, if you will, our rig count went to 20% of what it was previous. And rig count is what produces oil. And if we're not producing oil, we're not making gasoline. And obviously, if we're not making enough or the supply's there, the supply isn't there, and our demand goes up, which our demand has been going up lately, prices are going to go up. And that's what's happening now. And even coming into the summer months, I mean, you're going to have 3 million people on the road Memorial Day, and you're going to have higher prices. And it's just a supply-demand problem right now. At
what point will it even itself out and we start to see prices lessening? Because it seems like prices have been going up for the last couple of years.
Yeah, it has been. Ever since the old drill baby drill went out and we were paying $2 at the pump, now we're paying $5. $4.80, $90, whatever. That's what's happening is we're not drilling for oil and gas in the United States. And there's three reasons. I mean, there's the government. There's the public companies aren't just running back to the skids and saying, hey, let's get rigs. I mean, even Exxon made $6 billion last quarter, and they spent $10 billion buying back their stock instead of just going back to drilling. A lot of private equity companies, the Blackwaters, the Blackstones, and people like that, they're just saying, hey, you know what? We're not going to put money back to work. They've got a lot of people that are green on their boards, and they're saying we want money to come back to the investors, and we don't want to invest in anything that has anything to do with oil and gas. So it's tough, and we're not drilling. And if we're not drilling and don't have the supply and the demand's there, obviously you're seeing what's happening today.
When I hear people criticize this situation, I always hear about them talking about the record profits of the oil companies, and they are making a lot of money right now through this situation. And I think that's hard for a lot of people to understand, especially when they think, well, you could lower the price and give some of that money to us.
Yeah, and it's not our decision to lower the price. Or it's not like we have 20 of us that are sitting in the back room going, let's push it another nickel, let's see what happens. That's not us at all. That's not what we do. We all we do is just go by the supply and demand. We do the best we can at putting our money to work. It's hard to get money. I mean, it's hundreds of millions of dollars to drill wells and get an infrastructure in place, and it is expensive. And if you don't have all this money, you're not drilling for oil and gas. And if you have a lot of production right now, I mean, just think if you're producing 100,000 barrels a month right now at $100 a barrel, man, you're doing really good. And at 20 or 30 or 40, obviously it's a lot less. So if the money was turned and we could go back to work, and this is going to be not only just because of gasoline, because 60% of what we use on a barrel of oil is for, it has nothing to do with planes, trains, and automobiles. So therefore you have plastics, you have lipsticks, you have a lot of different items that are used for oil, and it's not necessarily just gasoline, oil and gasoline. It's not that easy. It's a lot of other products that we're going to be using for a long time. That's why I say to people, hey, we're not going green anytime soon, and we're just going to go greener over time because, yes, hey, the battery-operated cars are great cars, but it takes oil to make those cars. It takes oil to drive the cars on the roads. It takes a lot of other items and a lot of other things that oil is used for other than just your basic, gasoline. So just keep your money straight, do what you can with it right now, invest in oil stocks or offset it, because I believe, and I'm not as optimistic as, and I say optimistic, I don't know what, Goldman Sachs said 135. JP Morgan said 185. I saw an article yesterday saying $200 a barrel, which that would put gas prices at $7, $8, $9. Put your money into oil and gas. Buy an oil and gas stock or something. I mean, offset some of that, because I don't think we're going to go to 200. That's my belief. I think we'll stay between 80 to 100. here for the next several years because, like I said, we're not producing it. We need it, and that's going to keep the price. There's people saying it's going to go up a lot more. I just don't see it going up that much, but I could be wrong. So be prepared.
Jay Young, oil and gas expert, with us on News Talk 820 WBAP. It sounds to me, once again, like when the government sticks their chubby little fingers into a private market, they screw it up, that they've created an atmosphere now that is not conducive to doing business in the oil business.
Exactly. It's like the Keystone Pipeline. I mean, that was just a pure political. Trump wanted it. I'm not going to authorize it. Like I said in my speeches in my running for the president, and that was probably, I mean, if we would have done that, we could have just, taken everything that we bought from Russia and just offset it 100%. We wouldn't have to worry about all the oil coming out of Russia, but we didn't. And it's like governments right now. I mean, the states, not necessarily the federal, they cut off the permits last week. I don't know why they did that. We're not going to allow these permits. I don't know. Then all of a sudden you have states like Colorado, Wyoming, Utah, and California. You can't drill in those states. It takes so long to get a permit and to get everything ready to go. And we start so many times on our Colorado project where in Texas, I mean, man, I can go get Billy Bob tomorrow. We can get a rig. Get a permit and a rig next week, and we can start drilling. It's just that easy here where other states are keeping us from it. So there's a lot of things that are holding us back. Unfortunately, for the and like I said, and a lot of it has to do with politics. It's not only politics, but you know what? If Biden said, hey, you know what? Let's not worry about all these green people, and I'm not sure what to call them right now. I'm sorry, I'm in a conference over in Fort Worth, and I'm not really thinking about what to call these people other than green. The people that don't like oil and gas. Is that okay? Can I say it like
sure,
that?
That's good with me, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So thank you. I don't mean these people are green. I mean these people are not necessarily the color green, but they don't like oil and gas. And if we even had a lot of those people, and Biden said, hey, we're going to drill for oil and gas here. We're going to drill, baby, drill. It would take time to get that oil price down because of the supply that's needed. But still, I mean, it takes a lot to change all these people and to get to drilling again. So it is. And people will listen to Biden. They'll say, well, we don't like it, but we've got to drill, and we don't want $5, $7 gasoline. But Biden's still keeping us from drilling. I'm not saying he's my president, like he's everybody's president, and everybody has their own political views. But I'm just saying that if he took over and said, hey, drill, baby, drill, like Trump did, we'd have $2 gasoline again.
Yeah, it's very frustrating that so much of this is coming from the top, and it's so unnecessary. And you're right, it is, Jay, all political in nature. It has nothing to do with reality, and it's a very frustrating time we're living in. Of course, the money's coming out of our pockets, and I'm wondering where the tolerance level is going to end, where people are going to just say, no, this is ridiculous. We got to make a change somewhere, but this can't continue. And I wonder maybe people in Washington will eventually hear that message.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think that oil prices are going to, our gasoline prices are going to have to go up, and there's going to be more people that are going to be, and like I was talking to somebody the other day in Nebraska, and they were saying, well, this year we were going to go to the Grand Canyon, do some great stuff in the Grand Canyon, but instead we're going to go to Branson, Missouri. They're changing up plans because of the price. And if you have enough people like that get the word out and definitely 100%, let it be known that they are mad, then I think political views will come in. And that's why I don't think the price will go to 200, because I think that before it gets there, I think that people will come back and say, oh, okay, well let's do something else. We need to start drilling for oil in the United States. Yeah. So it's a cycle. Yeah. You've seen the stock market, the gold prices, the real estate, and it's just a cycle. It has to.
Yeah. All right, Jay Young, oil and gas expert, with us from Fort Worth today. Jay, thanks for coming on WBAP. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Appreciate you. Have me on anytime.